does it. Look at that, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That's a comeback.
They're coming to get them 8 rounds in a row. If that sticks, that would put them back in the #1 spot, just for the record. Yeah, they made a pronouncement both to Andy Bleeker and to us. They're going for the rounds. They want the record.
Hey.
They're going to rope for the record. There it is again. There it is again. Hey. Play some country, baby.
Hey, my name's Patrick Smith. I ended up winning the World's Championship in 2005 as a team roping. I'm the healer. I rope with Clay Tryon, and I just want to introduce myself, and this is my wife, Christi Smith, and we're just here to talk about what the Lord has been in our life and how great He has been to us, and how there is no other way to live to me than through my relationship with the Lord. And I ended up winning the World's Championship last year, and it was everything I dreamed of. I've chased it for a long time and worked at it, and maybe not as long as some guys, but because I was younger. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about what the importance of a relationship with the Lord has been to me, and how much greater the things of the Lord are than a World's Championship. My whole life, I grew up I was born and raised around church, and I had my mom and dad is Richard and Gloria Smith, and they both taught me. I was born around the Word of God, and went to a Christian school my whole life, and really knew no other way but to follow the Lord. But the older I got and the more I grew up and was around all this stuff, especially getting into rodeo, I learned that the whole world wasn't like that. I mean, I thought everybody was the same way that I was. I thought everybody believed in Jesus and knew that that's the way it was. And in my mind, there was no doubt growing up. I knew exactly who the Lord was in me, and just always had a relationship with Him. But as I've grown up, I've learned that not very many people do know about Him. That's what I'm here to talk about, is that He has been everything in my life. The very reason that I can sit here today and tell you how excited I am about winning this World Championship, and how grateful I am for it, is all because of Him. The whole thing, the relationship that I have with my wife, we base everything that we do on a relationship with the Lord. And it's just a great thing to be able to have that to fall back on.
Can you come to Vegas to the Wrangler NFR dedication? Matt Tyler, the $1 million header. Oh yes, it's clean. Nice roping there, Weatherford. Nice roping. 4.8.
That gets a check. That'll get a check.
My career starting out was a little different than a lot of guys. I started late. I was about 16 going on 17 years old when I was starting to ride horses and rope. And I fell in love with horses when I was in high school and just wanted to ride. I wasn't even interested in roping at all, or didn't even know what it was. So some guys that went to church where I did, they rode horses a lot, and they invited me to start coming out and riding with them. And that's what I did. I went out there and rode, and ended up taking riding lessons from their mother, and she gave lessons throughout the week, 5 days a week. I got to where I did it so much that I started helping her with her lessons for free lessons, basically. I'd go saddle horses and things like that for her to help me with my riding. Well, they team roped. Their name was Stan and Laura Lee McNerlin. They live in Midland, Texas, where I do. And I watched them rope one day, and I told them, hey, I'd like to learn how to do that, So they said, well, we're going to get you, first things first, we got to get you one leg on each side of the horse first and get you where you can stay on, and then we'll see about that. But they got me a roping dummy and a rope and started teaching me the basics of it, and just kind of went from there. And I fell in love with it and just chased it like that's all I did. I mean, I literally breathed team roping. When I wasn't roping the dummy, I was, riding my horse and roping a donkey or roping a steer or doing something all the time. And it was a little different for me because I had no idea about rodeo. I just knew about team roping. And the more I got into it, the more I wanted to do it. And the better I got, and the more I accomplished, the more I wanted to accomplish.
Oh my goodness. Is that wonderful? 3-7. Let's do it, Montana, Texas again. Ladies and gentlemen, Clay and Patrick. Clay Tryon, Patrick Smith came in here in the #1 spot. They are #1, but they're out of the average. These kids have got a rope just like Trevor and Corey, and they could still win a world title on go round to go round. Go. Oh, it fit. It fit again. 4.7.
They give 6 seconds. Now they've only won 8,500. That's not a lot considering 11 out of the 15 teams are 5 digits. Stand.
Patrick and I have a really special relationship. We got set up on a blind date, and I was 20 years old, and I wasn't really living for the Lord before I met Patrick. I was in college, and about 3 months before I met him, I'd made a decision to change my life and start living for the Lord. And at that time, I started praying for God to change everything in my life and to turn it around. And I started praying for a Christian husband, or to at least just meet a Christian guy, and for it to be the right person for the Lord to send, just who He wanted me to spend my life with. And a friend that I had known my whole life had been working with Patrick, and he got to know Patrick, and he set us up on a blind date and said that we'd be perfect for each other. And once I met Patrick, it was instantly we just got along good, and I really liked him a lot, and I know the Lord had His hand in that throughout the whole time, and our relationship's been really good. We've just had, I don't know, it's just God's been in everything that we've gone through, and the NFR this past year was really a trial for us. We had ups and downs, and we made it through it, but starting in the first round, and when Patrick, he missed both loops, it really shook him up, and I had to be there for him and tell him, you know, it's okay, God's going to take care of us. He'll get us through this, you know, it's still going to be good for us. And the second round was still not good, and that shook us kind of both up, and we made it through that. We prayed a lot during the finals, and things got good the next couple of nights after that, and got really exciting, but when things went bad again, it was really hard, and I think it shook me up more than anybody because the pressure it put on Patrick, and just got me really shook up, and he prayed for me and got me through it, and it was just really a trial for us, and to come out and know that everything turned out good and God answered our prayers.
Matt Tyler, Dennis, Texas, Patrick Smith of Midland. #1 team in the average by nearly 6 full seconds. Matthew, 3 to go. Right up rope. Patrick, grab you a pair. There it is. Roping smart, roping fast. That'll do it.
At the NFR this year, it was really a trial for Patrick and I. After the first round, Patrick missed both loops, and it really shook him up. And we went to the room that night and prayed about it, and kind of had to build his confidence back up and tell him that, you know, the Lord is there for him, and He's going to answer our prayers, and He's going to make things better. And the second night was kind of, we didn't do good again, and it wasn't quite as bad. We prayed through it, and the next couple of nights after that were really good, and I know that God answered.